What else is going on? Oh, we have a little lawsuit against the National Institutes of Health for Dr. Fauci's emails. The coronavirus crisis continues unabated. Not the medical side of the crisis, but the economic side of the crisis. We have 33 million people unemployed now, and we still have major states that are shut down outrageously shut down. There's no science to keep the states shut down. Every state needs to be open. I don't want to get sick. I don't want you to get sick. I don't want anyone to die. But you cannot solve a pandemic by destroying an economy and destroying a country and oppressing our rights. There's no constitutional basis. There's no lawful authority to keep people at home for months at a time and to shut every business in a state and then, quote, to only turn it on slowly. And that's totalitarianism. It's not even authoritarianism. It's totalitarianism. And it needs to be stopped. And I've encouraged President Trump to set a deadline certain. June 1st, I think. Maybe that's actually too far given the calamity. States open up, provide freedom to all your citizens to work, get their lives back, get their rights back. And if you don't do it, we will come in and do it for you. Because our federal government, the president, the Justice Department have positive moral obligations to make sure all of our rights constitutionally are protected. States don't have any right to take away your constitutional rights. They don't. I mean, you're seeing some states talking about keeping things shut down or suppressed for a year now. First, we can't wear masks. Then we're going to have to wear masks. We need to flatten the curve. The curve gets flattened. Then we need tests. Now we don't need tests. Now we need contact tracers. Guess who DC hired? I may have already said this. I'm going to say it again. Susan Rice. Susan Rice. Benghazi liar. Spygate co-conspirator. So the Obama gang is now working in DC on the Reopen DC project. How do you like that? They're hiring 900 contact tracers for a population of 700,000. I saw a headline, 20,000 in California. Contact tracers? What? That's absurd. You need contact tracing when you have an emergent disease in one or two locations or a few people at a time getting it, so you can try to keep it. Now it's all over the country. You don't need contact tracers. So we got to get this country open. Now, another big part of the debate is what China knew and what they said and how they lied about the coronavirus. And our friends at the Daily Caller News Foundation, had the temerity to actually ask for documents about what was going on. And specifically, they asked for documents of Dr. Fauci. And this is what they're seeking: communications between Dr. Fauci and Deputy Director Lane, and he was Deputy Director under Fauci there, and World Health Organization officials concerning the novel coronavirus. Communications of Dr. Fauci and Deputy Director Lane concerning WHO official Bruce Aylward, and WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom and China. I guess I call him Tedros all the time. So we want to know, and our client in this case wants to know, what was Dr. Fauci being told about the coronavirus by WHO and China? Now, he says he was misled. He says that one of the early mistakes he made in terms of analyzing the virus was he didn't realize how transmittable it was, how easily it could spread. Well, in part, I'm sure that came from the Chinese, because remember, there was that issue about human-to-human contact, and that wasn't spread easily through human-to-human contact. All of that also was pushed out by WHO. Now, the president has demanded an audit of WHO and a moratorium on spending. I forget the detail of it. And even to this day, the deep state is opposing him. I found out through my through people I know that the deep state is trying to get a key subsidiary of the WHO, the Pan American Health Organization, of which we provide half their budget, exempted from the president's declaration that American money not go to WHO. So it's a subsidiary. The deep state's logic is, well, it's a separate agency. It's not really separate, practically speaking. And it's corrupt just like the WHO is. It is it's a front often for the Cubans. So it's a tool of the Cubans. And it's just terrible. And we should provide, let me be clear. There should be no money going to WHO, whether or not they lied about China. Lying about China is just the latest in their corruption. I mean, these international organizations are just corrupt messes. As far as I'm concerned, we should be funding none of them. None of them. Someone tried to convince me there was one worth funding. I promised I'd look into it, but maybe there's one. Of course, that would just be the exception that proves the rule, wouldn't it? So Judicial Watch is suing on behalf of our client, the Daily Caller News Foundation, which is really a leading media organization here in Washington, D.C., because the corrupt legacy media is just gone completely native in terms of socialism and activism. So our friends at the Daily Caller News Foundation are asking tough questions about Fauci's emails, and we want the answers. And when you, in a crisis, transparency and the rule of law, again, should not fall on the wayside. So it's important that the agency, NIH, turn the documents over. It's a significant public interest to find out what WHO was telling our top medical officials about the coronavirus that originated in China. Don't you think that's important? I do. I'm going to read the statement issued by the Daily Caller News Foundation co-founder and president Neil Patel. And Neil writes, this virus has killed hundreds of thousands of people and turned the whole world upside down. We know that China and WHO could have done a lot more to prevent or reduce this catastrophe. We therefore have a legitimate and urgent news purpose for seeking these documents regarding U.S. officials' communications with WHO and demand that the agencies in question stop stalling and start following the law that entitles us to this vital information. That's a pretty good comment, isn't it? It's very Judicial Watchy. Well, obviously, we're representing them. That's why we have the same mind on this. But isn't it interesting? We've got this, this world history event. And this virus originated in China, and Judicial Watch is the only one, as best I can tell, suing for this basic information.